Students, what's the most epic way you've gotten revenge on a terrible teacher? Dr. Sebastianus had a 70% failure rate in his introductory chemistry class. He'd give impossible exams worth 90% of your grade, refuse to curve scores, and mock students who asked for help. If you can't handle real chemistry, he'd sneer, maybe consider a career in retail. The breaking point came when he failed my friend Cordelia, despite her getting 89% on every assignment. Her final exam score was 64%, which he claimed proved she had been cheating all semester because the grades were inconsistent. He refused to review her exam or explain the logic. But Dr. Sebastianus made one crucial mistake. He was so arrogant about his superior intellect that he'd solve chemistry problems on the board without double-checking his work. I started noticing errors, wrong molecular formulas, incorrect calculations, even basic periodic table mistakes. I began secretly recording his lectures and documenting every error. Over one semester, I collected 47 factual mistakes, including teaching that water had the formula H3O and claiming that gold was magnetic. These weren't minor slip-ups. They were fundamental chemistry errors that would fail any student who believed them. The masterpiece was when he spent an entire lecture explaining how carbon dioxide was heavier than air, which is why it sinks in water. He was confusing density with solubility and teaching scientifically impossible concepts with complete confidence. I compiled everything into a detailed report with timestamps, correct scientific explanations, and references to actual chemistry textbook. Then I sent it to the department head with a simple question. How can a professor who doesn't understand basic chemistry fairly grade students on their knowledge? But I didn't stop there. I sent copies to the university's Academic Integrity Board, the Dean of Sciences, and the accreditation committee that was reviewing our chemistry program that year. The investigation was swift and brutal. The department head sat in on Dr. Sebastianus's next lecture and watched him confidently teach that oxygen was flammable and acids always turn litmus paper blue. The dean personally verified each of my documented errors against standard chemistry references. The accreditation committee was particularly interested because Dr. Sebastianus was listed as the lead chemistry educator in their program review materials. Having your lead professor teach fundamental errors could cost the entire university its chemistry program certification. Within 2 weeks, Dr. Sebastianus was suspended pending a competency review. The university quietly offered grade appeals to every student from his classes over the past 3 years. The competency review was a disaster. Dr. Sebastianus couldn't correctly balance a basic chemical equation or explain why his recorded statements about molecular formulas were wrong. Turns out he'd been coasting on a PhD from 30 years ago without keeping up with current knowledge. He was terminated for academic incompetence and lost his tenure. The university had to hire 2 new professors to cover his classes and retrain students who'd learned incorrect chemistry fundamentals. Cordelia got her grade changed to an A and received a formal apology from the dean. 47 other students had their failing grades overturned after the investigation revealed systematic grading errors. The best part? Dr. Sebastianus tried to get hired at community colleges, but word had spread through academic networks about the professor who thought water was H3O. He now works at a hardware store where his chemistry knowledge is mercifully irrelevant.